Yeah! I'm ready, baby!
What's going on? Q&A Mondays, the Lethal Collective. Me and Fate decided, and we believe Steven from Craven Something Scary will be with us as well in a minute or two. But yeah, man, let's see what we got going on in the chat. We got some people already here. Extron, Jen, Hawkins, House of Horror. What's up?
What is up?
Yes, and of course, happy Memorial Day to you guys. Same to you, Jen. Thank you. Happy Memorial Day. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying it. Crystal, hey, what's up, Crystal? Crystal's in the chat. All right, now we're ready to rock. Val is in the chat. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Val, you all right? All right. What's up, Wayne? What's up, Wayne? And as you guys know, we're just going to be just chilling out. We're going to try to do some Q&A. So if you guys have a question, we'll try to get to it. So just let us know. Emily's in the chat. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Me, myself, and a movie. Hey, all. What's going on? Thank you so much for joining us. By the way, me, myself, and a movie. It was a really cool tweet you put out. I didn't get a chance to retweet it, but I saw it pop up in my notifications. And again, and a lot of you guys do this, but seriously, posting out our episodes on your social media, it's a huge help. We really appreciate it. We really, really do.
It definitely does. It helps so much. I mean, we're at 6:31.
Yeah.
Let's try to get to 6:35 today. So help us out. Help us out. It's only 4 subs. I'm keeping it light today.
Right.
You know,
extra.
We don't have the full group.
I already know they're going to be 15 minutes late.
Well, you were wrong.
We were on time today.
That's right. See?
See?
Way to doubt us. Way to doubt us.
I tell you. Noak. What's up? What's up? Dan's in the chat too. What's up? How you doing, Dan?
There's plenty of way to go around. Move up those tentacles. That's right.
Jen was going off the rails the other night, man.
I loved it. Wow, it was great.
This is a new day.
I love seeing people open up and
literally.
Yeah, literally. I do. I love it. We're growing this awesome community here. It's awesome to see all the different personalities and different just fun. I do. I love it. I love when things get fun like that. People are comfortable enough to do stuff like that. It's awesome.
That's right. What's up, Denisha? What's up? Me, myself, and the movie saying you're most welcome, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Appreciate all of you. But
absolutely. Conrad, what's up?
I know I love it too. Believe me, I love those conversations and stuff. I'm always very fascinated by that stuff.
Right. How you guys been today? Well, I'll let you answer that first, Fate, and then I've got an answer too.
Been good, no complaints. I'm here with all you beautiful people, all your beautiful faces. Can't be too bad. Just kind of light, just getting things done. Not much work to do outside of YouTube and stuff, which is good because I can get caught up because it's Memorial Day, so everything's closed and stuff. So getting caught up, trying to get some extra stuff done, stuff set up because tomorrow's going to be crazy for me. So. Trying to get ahead of the game today.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I mean, as usual, busy, work, and but I can't complain. I'm here too. Happy to be here. This is always cool to just chill out, but I'm hanging in there. Oh, and look who we have. Somebody's popping in. There he is.
Up?
There he is.
There he is.
Happy Miscommunication Monday. How we doing?
Wonderful. What's up?
What's going on, man?
It's going all right, man. How are you guys?
Hanging in there. Of course, we don't have Jake here today, and obviously that's because Jake he's busy making a movie, guys. I mean, come on.
What's a movie?
Exactly. Well, All right. Dan is asking, after Halloween Kills and the next Scream movie have been analyzed and discussed, what other topics might you cover? Or maybe Halloween Ends and the next Scream movie. What other topics? Well, I'll just throw out something. I mean, to me, it's always fun just talking about whatever is, on people's mind, the heartbeat of what's going on in horror. So there'll always be something to talk about or to speculate about. Personally speaking, when we're talking about horror, I mean, there's so much, as you know, Dan, there's so much to talk about, and I think there's possibilities for a whole bunch of other type of rabbit trails we could go down, kind of like what we did last. What was it, Monday, when we were talking about the Jupiter brain?
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man, that was a fun conversation where
it
we were
was.
all like having these look on our face, like, what the hell are we talking about here? So possibilities are pretty much endless. What do you guys think?
Craven, you want to step in?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there's lots of good stuff on the docket. I mean, we've got movies coming up. There'll always be things in the pipeline, right? So,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of nonstop. I mean, we've seen over the last 12 months, and even just the last year, we've had so many things happen. Now, of course, Halloween Ends is going to be gone for Halloween. Will probably be gone for a couple of days, a couple of days, couple of years at least. And Scream, who knows? If Radio Silence screws the pooch, that may be it. Otherwise, we'll get a 7. I think we will get a 7.
Mhm.
So we'll have lots of Scream talk for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
But there'll be other stuff coming up. Jordan Peele is going to be cranking them out because he just signed, was it a 3 or 5 picture deal? I can't remember what the number was. It was at least 3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 picture deal. And Nope is the first one. So he's got 2 more. He's going to be cranking out new material. And A24, when do they ever stop?
Yeah.
They're always cranking. I mean, my gosh, man, you got it's every time X came out, and then we've got Bodies coming out, and they're just going to continue to crank it, right? So
Right.
I'm not concerned. I mean, as far as answering that definitively, it's impossible because we have no clue what's coming up. Other
Yeah.
than so, I mean, I would just say it like, don't worry, we'll never. Here's one thing I can promise you: between the 4 of us, we will never have nothing to talk about.
Mm.
Promise you that. You can
Yeah.
put that in the bank.
Well, and and also the thing of it is, and I think I don't know if we were talking about that the other day, Stephen. Between the
Yeah.
4 of us, and it is really interesting. Our channels are really different as
Yeah.
far as kind of what we're throwing into the bag. So it just stands to reason that, like you said, the possibilities, they could just go on and on and on. So yeah. How about you, Fate?
I think. I mean, if we're talking about the collective, yeah, we'll never run out of time. I mean, most of we have more episodes where we don't even talk about horror movies than we have
Very true.
episodes of actually talking about horror movies. But that's what I love about the collective, because I mean, if you want the same old stuff, just go to our channels. Like the whole point of this is to see what we're interested in, see
Right.
get a peek into us as creators and us as people that are part of this community, and have our back and forths. It
Yeah.
gives you the reason I love this so much is because it's so unique in the sense of like 4 creators that are part of the same community, that have the same followers, the same everything. We come together and you actually get like a peek behind the curtain of us.
Yeah.
Like who else is really doing that? I mean, in any
Mhm.
space, like there are other creators that team up and do videos, but they're usually interviews or they're talking about like a specific topic or stuff. Like that's why I wanted this to be something that is just completely different. I want this to be something where we're not in a box as far as like what we have to talk about, because it keeps things fresh constantly. It attracts not just the horror community, but communities in general, which is a great
Right.
way to just grow the community in general. And
Mhm.
even people that aren't like huge horror fans, I mean, they can still join the conversation if we are talking about horror. They've likely
Right.
still seen horror movies or whatever, so I love the freedom we have here. Plus, it's just a nice escape, when you're talking about the same stuff every day over and over and over again. It's nice to just come here with your buddies and just shoot the shit, like
Right.
instead of having to be like, okay, well, we got to talk about Scream today, we have to talk about
Mhm.
Halloween, and
Yeah.
here we can just come on and don't. But I mean, individually, I mean, Knight, he talks about other things more than he talks about Halloween and Scream. I mean, Knight's the one guy that he's everywhere as far as
He's
horror
the
goes.
most diverse of the
Oh
collective.
yeah, I
No
mean,
question.
he's the
One day
horror
it'll
guy
pay
more
off.
than any of us. Like honestly, like if we're being honest, like he is the horror. Or I should go point that way. There you go. He's the horror guy.
One day
Uh,
it'll pay off,
yeah,
hopefully.
one day. But yeah, like, and
One
that's the
day.
thing. I mean, and but I admire that. I admire the grind, and I'm sure sometimes, night. I don't want to speak for you, but I'm sure sometimes it's frustrating because man, if I do a Halloween video, I'll get like 2,000 views, or if I do a Scream
That's
video,
right.
I'll get 2,000 views. But it's like the
That's
fact
right.
that you're so consistent at like, no, I want this channel to be what this is. I really
Right.
admire that. I really do, and it will
I
pay off
appreciate
eventually.
that.
I mean, you've already grown. I mean, you grew
I'd
two
say it's
channels in a year.
it's already paying off, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah.
absolutely.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, because it is a challenge, and I think that, and also to your other point, I mean, I think some of our most interesting discussions were discussions that weren't necessarily horror, or maybe not necessarily about
Yeah,
a movie, but it
it's
was
true.
kind of, you know what I mean, kind of on the surface. But it is
Yeah.
challenging, man. I mean, I think we've all talked about it. Steven, I remember you talked about it when you had first dived into some Jordan Peele stuff.
Oh yeah.
And, it kind of is the nature of the beast with YouTube, because we have to grind it out. I could sit here, like you said, talk about something that's like Halloween or Scream, which I enjoy and I absolutely love talking about those things. But you can only talk about it so much before you might kind of get tired of it yourself. But then, if, like, for instance, and you guys know, Monday nights, when I do on my channel Slasher Movie Club, it could be a movie that is very well known and liked. Like, last week we had a huge turnout for Urban Legend. We'll see what the turnout is tonight, because we're
Yeah.
talking about a movie that is so off the rails. But here's the good news, and I know Dan, especially Dan, like, and Val, those guys are always in the chat. Sometimes you find interesting gems that you've never heard about. So to me, that's the fun of it as a content creator. It's tough to go down that road though, but that's the path that I'm going down. So
Yeah, I
we'll
mean, it's a good,
see. We'll
it's a good
see.
path. I mean, we all have ideas of ways to branch out. I mean, obviously, like I want to start getting back into like the scary content and stuff like that, just because
Hmm.
a lot of people in the community seem to be interested in it, and that also brings new people, and it also just has longevity. Like my biggest thing, and it's something we've talked about on several occasions, on camera and off camera, we've all talked about it. Painting ourselves into a box.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's hard because like I'll make a Scream video and I'll get like a couple thousand views, and then I'll make and try to talk about something else, and you get like you get 100 views, and you're like, well, dang, like I just put all that time and effort into that for no reason, really.
Right,
I mean,
right, right.
Mhm.
and so it is frustrating at times, but it's the long game, is how
Yeah,
I look at it.
It
Is that like
is.
yeah, I
and
agree.
that's another reason why like I have other channels and stuff, and like like I even made 2 community posts because I was doing a live stream and people were like, "Oh, I'd love to hear your opinion on this and that," and I just get it
Right.
all the time. So I just threw it out there, like, "How would you feel if I did like an opinion channel?" I'd
Hmm.
stay away from like I'll stay away from like politics and religion because that's those are the 2 things that'll get you
Yeah. Don't
booted
go
up
down those
either, just
roads.
headache or a headache that I just don't want to deal with. But like like
Right.
things like the Texas shooting and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
like give my take, give my opinion. I could let people give me topics to talk about and stuff.
Mhm.
I can even do live streams on it. And like the reason the point is like why I'm open to doing like other channel stuff is because it's an escape from what I do night in and night out. Like you said, it gets
Right.
like like don't get me wrong, I love talking Scream. I make Scream videos every day, all that
Right.
stuff. But there are days where I'm like, God, like I really wish I could just like make a sports video. I really wish I could,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I really wish I could do this. And so like that's kind of my
Right.
way of like, okay, like well, I can do that. I just gotta separate it from Fate Decided. And because I have a following, maybe some of them are interested in that too. So come over
Right.
here and then
Hmm.
I can do that. And like so far I mean, so my sports channel is like the last like day and a half just took off. I got a video that got that's at like 12,000 views, and I've gotten
Nice.
like 100 subs in the last day. So I'm like, oh cool, like at this rate I'll be monetized there too. So then it's like cool, like so
Right.
like and that's kind of my thinking, like if I have these other outlets, it gives me a way to sort of escape from like the day in and day out stuff. My only concern is burning myself out from like creating, like
Right. Right.
the time element. But nothing I'm making is like that time intense. I'm
Right.
not making these like crazy edited, like having explosions in the background and stuff. Like it's pretty straightforward. So like
Right.
I can most of the time I can pump, I could from thought to creation, I can pretty much knock them out, within an hour, 30 minutes, whatever. So,
Right.
yeah, so just trying to
Yeah.
find ways, trying to navigate through everything. We're still learning. We're still all small. We're still
True.
trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm just big on. The big thing that I want is I want to grow the people that matter.
Right.
Like I have 7,000 subs, but like how many of them really matter? You know what I mean? And I mean all of them matter to an extent, but
Right.
how many are actually engaging? How many people are watching all the videos? How many people are in the live streams? How many people
Yeah.
like that's the community you want, because that's the community that's going to grow you and make
Yeah.
us be able to do this full time. That's
Yeah.
what we need to get grown, and that's
Right.
that's my ultimate goal, is just like pump stuff out, try to get as many people as possible. Hopefully with that, we get, we grow, I go from 100 people that give a shit to 200 people to 1,000 people. Like I've always
Right.
said, like I would rather have 1,000 people that will follow me everywhere, like, and will watch everything and, support me the best they can through likes and subscribes, if they can give a super chat, like cool. Like, but I'd rather have 1,000 people that are just all about me than, have 100,000 people and 999,000 of them don't give a shit.
Right. And we've seen channels go through that.
Yeah.
And especially, and I'm friends with a content creator that went through that, and literally he started a new channel and is kind of taking it that route, like the slow grind. So, myself personally, and I know we've talked about it too, especially for the collective channel, I'm willing to take that slow grind if we can build it up the way we want to, and not just people, oh yeah, I'll sub, and they don't really want to, or they don't care, they won't watch, things and stuff like that. So it's a good point, man. It's a real good point.
Craven, got anything to add?
I mean, no, I think you guys hit it on the head. I mean, I think you got to be thinking about long term and keeping the channel alive. And I mean, I've always, excuse me, I've always wanted my channel to be about. One second. Excuse me. I've always wanted my channel to be about community over content.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I was on a podcast yesterday, and we had a really good discussion. Smells Like Teen Horror is the YouTube channel. Interviewed me yesterday for their podcast, and it was a really good conversation. And I was sharing with them how, when I started this, my goal was for the content to be the vehicle that brings people here, but ultimately what I want them to stay for is the community of the channel. It is a place that's safe to come to voice opinions that maybe they're afraid to voice in other places for being ridiculed or being put down, or that's a stupid idea. This kind of stuff that we know is out there,
Right.
This toxic stuff. And so I'm really what matters to me over content or relationships. The people are number one. Content is great, and I love doing it, and that's why I started it, because I wanted to do this content, and I will continue to try to find content that will be I enjoy, number one, because if I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to be passionate about it. You're not going to want
Right.
to watch that.
Yeah.
So I have to enjoy it. If it's something I don't care about, I'm not. Even if it's a popular movie, I won't even cover it. I mean, there's movies that have come out that I've not even talked about that are
Right.
really, that if I could have and got a lot of views, but I'm only going to do what I'm passionate about and what I care about.
Right.
And so that's just how I choose to do it. However, I know that those things will keep coming out, and there'll always be ones in the past to talk about, So
Yeah.
I
mean,
think
the
for
past
me,
is littered with great.
it's littered with
content.
stuff like you were talking about earlier tonight on your slasher club. We find stuff all the time. I mean, I haven't even done any diving on the Scream movies. I've done nothing on Scream 2, of 4 videos.
Yeah,
I've
me
done
neither.
nothing. I mean, there's so much content that's just
There is. I have a whole list.
rich.
I have a whole list. I swear to you, I have a whole list of like things that I want to talk about from the past Scream movies, And
Yeah.
my goal was when Scream 5 ended, that's what I would dive into. But then they made the Scream 6 announcement like a week later. So it was
Right.
like, all right, well, I guess that's getting pushed off later. Sorry,
Exactly.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. It was just funny.
Well, but that's a valid point, and that's another reason why I haven't really done those videos yet, because I started in September of last year, and in the height of Scream 5 coming out, and then Scream 6 is announced and Halloween ends now. So it's just like, you only have so much time you can do this stuff, right? And so
That's right.
I want to keep, and I love these two franchises. These are my two most favorite franchises. So for me, it's Christmas time right now, because I've got Halloween Ends coming out this year, and then another Scream movie in March. So eventually
Right.
I'll get to that stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, I want to, what I want to do is build a community that sustains content. In other words, no matter what we get to at some point in time, the community is so strong and together that that's the main thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I love Craven's videos, but man, I love being a part of the community. That's
Yeah.
what I want to hear people say,
And I
So,
think that's a good plan. In my opinion, especially if you're the type of content creator that can connect with people, and I totally agree with you. I'm the exact same way, and that's specifically why when I first started doing my channel, even on my old channel, I was live streaming. I mean, I've been doing that for almost 2 years now, and fortunately, in the last whatever it's been, year or whatever, it's really start to catch on, and you have people that, like you said, they just want to talk, and it doesn't really matter what you're talking about, but they know that the conversation either one will be interesting, informative, entertaining, or you can just be around a group of people that you like hanging around. And I think that's exactly to your point too, Fate. That's kind of like what we're thinking about with the collective channel, kind of just taking all of these things and putting them together and just hanging out. It could be any type of topic. Like right now, we're talking about something that is not movie specific. And I'm digging it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm digging
I
it.
love I mean, like I would love, like, if I could just go live every day and like that's it. Like I would love to do that because I love going live. It's so much fun. You get to interact with people in real time. You can bring a
Right.
guest on. You can, there's so many things you could do to keep it fresh, keep it interesting.
Mhm.
But I mean, there's a couple things about that. Is one, it's you grow faster and it's easier to grow when you're making videos over live
Yeah.
streams. YouTube just doesn't promote live streams the
That's
way that
right.
they promote
No.
videos, so it makes it
True.
hard to really grow if I was just to do live streams. The other thing too is you don't get like all the benefits you get for videos until after you're done live.
That's right.
So and that's why to YouTube's credit, that's why they have like super chats and stuff. So like we don't get
Yeah.
monetization for, like, even if you get the ads, like, because you can get the ads now, we can get the ads, but like that doesn't count until after the stream. So it's like, we're not that it's a bad thing, because again I love it, but essentially we're doing the live stream for free and we're hoping the payoff after is worth it.
Right.
But the problem is that most of the people that are going to watch that live stream were in the live stream.
That's right.
So
Right.
you'll have like 500 people watch like throughout the live stream, in and out, because you get the analytics at the end. Now you get like 500 people, but it's like a week later you're at like 505, and it's like
Right.
That's
Right.
it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're
YouTube.
hoping super chats supplemented that
Right.
loss.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Whoops,
tough,
sorry,
man.
Matt, what were you gonna say?
No. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying YouTube definitely does not make it easy, for content creators. I mean, like you said, to their credit, they do things like super chats. But, the other thing too, and we've talked about this because we've even had some people say, well, can we do super chats for the collective? And we can't do that yet. But, not everybody is able to always do things like that, which is perfectly understandable, perfectly fine, especially when you're a small channel.
Yeah.
So, again, I think with YouTube, it's just too bad that they don't. To me, it would be to their benefit to help support smaller channels a little bit more, in some different ways, because then you just have more and more channels that are going to be successful. And that means more and more people watching are going to spend time on YouTube, which ultimately is what YouTube wants.
Yeah, I've never understood that either. Especially especially once you get monetized, because like you would think once you get monetized, like YouTube would pop your channel up because they're
Yes.
making money off of it too, and they're not making 3%. They're making 30%.
Right.
So like you would think
Yes.
that they would really want to pump chat, but they don't. I mean, the
No,
grind
they
is
don't.
still the grind even after you get
Yeah.
monetized.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it doesn't. There's not really much of a change,
No.
and you know, and to like, you know, like you were talking about, like the super chat stuff, like, you know, like when you go live, a large majority isn't going to be able to, and that's fine. It's about the connectability. Like none of us go live for the super chats, like
Right.
you know,
Right.
like, I mean, because I mean, in reality, none of us are making that much off of super chats after YouTube's 30%. You know, like
Right.
even if we have a live stream where we make like, you know, $100 in super chats, like, oh, that's great. Like we had a great stream, but then you actually get the analytics. It's like, okay, here's your penny. You're like, yeah, like,
Right.
all right, you know,
Yeah.
and so
But we
it's like,
appreciate it. We still appreciate
oh
it.
no, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
10,000%. You know, it's not about the lack of appreciation. It's just
Yeah.
about, it's
It's
just
really
to give a
really-
better understanding for those, because
True.
like, you know, I've seen people ask about like, you know, like what happens if I go stream? Like they ask questions about YouTube. So this is a good opportunity to address this, because we do have a lot of content creators in our streams, and
Right.
so it's good for them to know whether they can do it today or, you know, a year from now, whatever. At least
Yep.
they know. You know, because I mean, and that's where it comes down to the community. You know what I mean? Like you grow the community, and then that leads to more people that, you know, can do this, that, and the other, and you know, you get, you know, 100 people that can now give $1. You know, it's like that really
Right.
benefits and offsets those things. You know, because I mean, look, you could have YouTubers and all that stuff. They all say like, oh, it's not about the money. It's, you know, I don't care about that. At the end of the day, we all want to do this professionally. Like, yeah, it's a hobby. Yeah, it's that. But all of us would quit our jobs tomorrow if we were making enough money to just do this 24/7, 365. Of course, we want community. Of course, it's not just about the money, but
Yeah.
of course, like, you know, we're essentially doing this for free. You know,
Mhm.
it's like if we could get to the point where, you know, we're successful. And I'm not saying we have to make millions of dollars or anything like that, but at least to where we're comfortable enough to like, okay, like this is now a career. This is now a job. Right now, this is a hobby.
Right.
You know,
right.
in reality, you know,
Yep.
and that's always the goal, is to do that. You know, I mean, and I've talked about like how, you know, being a content creator, and I encourage everyone to create, you know, make content, because it's
Yep.
such a great outlet. It's such, you know, it's therapeutic in so many ways. It's a nice escape from reality. It just, there's so many benefits beyond it. You get to kind of let your thoughts out and stuff like that. So I think that there is a ton of value beyond it. But it's just, yeah, you know, it's one of those things like, you know, we all have these goals that we want
Right.
to reach. It's just about the grind leading up
It's
to
the
it.
yeah, it's the grind, man. And
It
it's
is.
it's tough, man. I think all four of us, and I'll get to this comment in a second too,
Yeah,
but
I
I
was
think
just
all
gonna say
four of
something.
us, we definitely we've been taking some battle wounds, you know,
Oh,
because while we're grinding, and I think for a lot of people that aren't content creators, or maybe even content creators that are kind of more at the beginning of their journey, you know, you're grinding, but you're still you still have to live life. You know,
Yeah,
you still have
yeah,
families, you
exactly.
still have days where you're not feeling well, you still have pets or loved ones or work or what have you. And in order to be successful on YouTube, you have to have consistency,
Mhm.
you know, because if you're not consistent, you know, everyone will have, you know, lucky moments or lucky times, and that's quite possible for anyone. But consistency is very important, or else you'll always have this roller coaster. So it is when they say grind, that is the word,
No, it is.
grind.
I mean,
Yeah.
even so, like a great example, and don't get me wrong, I'm very thankful, but it's a little discouraging. Like, so I have a video that overnight got like 220,000 views or something like that. Like, literally, it got picked up by India. It was in India. It blew up
Yes.
in India, and
Yes.
It got picked up by like the #1 India forum or whatever, you know, website or whatever. It's like where
Yes.
they go for their news source, and it was one of
Mhm.
my like scary videos, and I guess they have a whole like segment on their website that's about that, and so it like blew. Like I woke up and I just got like all these alerts from YouTube, like congratulations, you hit this milestone. I was like, what is going on? I looked and I was like, no way, I got 200,000 views, like in literally
Yeah.
like several hours. It was crazy.
Wow.
Nuts.
Problem was, it led to no new subscribers. I got 2
Yes.
subscribers out of that, and out of 202,000 people, I got 2 subscribers. Right, and
Wow.
I'm not saying I needed like that was my moment to get 100,000, but 2 subscribers. I
Right.
got 2 subscribers, and I got $1.89 in AdSense. Where
Yeah.
because India's AdSense is so small compared to like the U.S. or
Right.
Canada, things like that. Where like if that video would have blown up in the U.S., you're talking like $10,000. Like that's
That's
a
right.
huge difference. Like and so
Yep.
it's just like, and so like even if they do,
I've had that happen to me too, man, and it is so frustrating
it
because
is.
I've talked about the Final Destination movies and had some really, to me, really good shows on them and so forth. And 2 of them, especially the 5th one, blew up in India and Indonesia and I can't remember. It's well over 100,000 views, but the same thing as you, man. It's like, not a lot of traction from it.
Yeah.
But what's even worse is that, and it could be for whatever reason, but, um, time viewed and stuff like that,
Yeah.
isn't what it usually would be like, for my regular episodes or whatever. So that kind of messes up my average of the whole channel. So it is like the grind is real, man. Like even when you're doing well, you may not really be doing well. Like people that
Exactly.
might take a look at that and just look at the surface. They're like, wow, man, that many
This guy
people
made
watched
a
the
ton of
video.
money. This guy's blowing up,
Exactly.
and in
Exactly.
reality, it literally led to nothing. It just led to
Yep.
now I have a video that looks cool. Like that's literally all I got out of it. Like
Yep.
which is fine. Like it's like it's not about the ad. Like I care less about the AdSense. Like
Right.
it
Right.
could have, but like at least help the channel grow a little bit.
That's
Like
right.
even
Yeah.
like the likes to view ratio was like terrible because because not just that, but because it was a foreign article that picked it up.
Yeah.
How many of those people actually saw it and didn't know what I was talking about? They're watching the video. They probably
Mhm.
even have it on mute. Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Can't
And
hear
it's,
they don't understand you. Yeah.
yeah, and it's one of those things. It's crazy. But at the end of the day, yeah, it is a grind. It is something that we gotta navigate through, and we all hope that you get that one video that hits and it's like boom.
Mhm.
But it's also harder for us compared to like some other YouTubers, because we
That's
are
right.
in a very specific niche.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where if we were talking about like even sports, like so I had one video, like I said, that got like 12,000 views, and like all my videos since then are all
Mhm.
taken off because of that. And I'm getting all these subscribers. Like that's usually how it works for people,
Right.
depending on what your niche is.
Yeah.
But for us, because we're in a very specific niche, it's not as broad as like a sports or current events or drama or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah.
The grind is a lot slower. But
Now, Jen is getting upset with us, guys, because she says, I thought you guys were going to answer viewers' questions. And as far as I know, Jen, and I could be wrong, I've got one question waiting on the tally from Crystal. We will answer it. We just started having a conversation.
Yeah. It's kind
Because
of
there weren't that many questions. You guys got to realize, too, when we're live, and I know all 4 of us, and I've heard this from you guys, which is a very kind compliment. A lot of people say, wow, you guys just you have interesting conversations and you just kind of you roll with it, you flow with it. You guys got to remember, this is all unscripted. So if we don't have any questions, this is what we'd be doing.
we're just exactly.
And how entertaining would that be? So
Yeah.
let me get to the one question that we have on the tally, and we'll answer it. Otherwise, we don't have any more questions, and we're just having a conversation. Crystal says, question for you 3. Do you think a Halloween TV series would add or detract from the franchise? What if new stuff is introduced in the series that is not movie supported? Do we care? I will answer that first.
Go ahead.
I don't want a Halloween TV series.
Really?
I don't. And that's as a huge Halloween fan. I mean, and it's just
Why?
like a lot. Well, I'll answer that. And it's just like a lot of things. You might have a feeling one way or another, and you could be proven wrong. And I could be proven wrong if it's something, as we always say, that's executed very well and it's interesting and fresh. Sure, that'd be fine. But I don't know if I'd want. And if we're talking about the mythology of the Halloween movies, which includes Michael, Laurie, you could even be talking about Jamie Lloyd or what have you. I don't want to see anything else because to me it'll oversaturate what we already have in a franchise that's 44 years old with 12 going on 13 movies. Now again, if it's something fresh out of the box and it makes sense and so forth, because I know a lot of folks are big into the Chucky TV show, which is pretty good. But we don't always see things end out that good when you have a TV show of a movie. We were just talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer, last night on my live stream at midnight. So I'd rather not take the chance, and that's as a huge Halloween fan, but that's just me. I could be proven wrong, of course. But how about you, Fate?
I am a huge advocate of horror franchises becoming series, and yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer was god awful. But I think that was just like what they were trying to do. Like all you had to do was tell a new story or just stick to the original story, but tell it, in series form. They tried to make like this woke, weird mess. It was more teen drama than it was a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I have no problems with, commentary or agendas in movies or series and stuff. Like it's been like that since the inception of films and movies. It's just like, but when it was an I Know What You Did Last Summer series, and we didn't even get to see the guy until like the tail end of the series. It was like, what is going on here? Like, and I think that is a bad example, but you're right. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's going to hit. It doesn't mean that it's going to work. Things like that. But I will say that, the beauty of a series is you can, instead of trying to cram everything into a 2 hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40-minute movie, you have essentially 10 hours to work with. You have 10 hours or 8 hours or whatever, depending on how long you want your series to be. You have all these moments that you can really tell the story, develop characters, do things correctly. I think with the right writers and stuff, you can tell new stories. You can go to different directions. I think it's also a way to do and be creative without messing up, canon and, if you want to go that route. Otherwise, you can always tie it in. There's a lot of talks about a Scream TV series and that having, direct ties into the movies, which is cool. You could do that. But like Scream, like the first 2 seasons of Scream, like I loved them. Many people love them, but it had nothing to do with Scream. They were able to tell an entirely new story and throw the Scream sticker on it. And, it had some success. Like I think that there is a lot of benefits to turning horror franchises into series. That doesn't mean that they'll all work, but I definitely think it's something that if you got the right writing, you got the right story, I think that they could be entertaining. Craven.
Yeah, man. I'm all for Halloween series. Yes, let's go. Let's do it. Let's call it Haddonfield and not Halloween, so that we have a difference between the movies and the television series. So I want it to be called Haddonfield, a 10-episode run on Prime or Netflix or Hulu. Maybe they can redeem themselves from that mess of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Please, I'll tell you what, if they do it, they better have different showrunners. That's all I can tell you. Yeah.
Right.
And, I would love to see that, but it has to be done well. And, I Know What You Did Last Summer series was a great example of how not to do a social commentary, shoving it down your throat show. Because that's what that show was. They didn't do it well. It's one thing to do it well. All right, for example, I'm going to go a little older now, a little older school, but from 1991, People Under the Stairs, Wes Craven's movie. That is Jordan Peele before Jordan Peele. All right, if you watch that movie now, we watched it 2 weeks ago, great social commentary and done in a way that it's subtle, but it's there and you see it. But it doesn't detract from the show, the story. Yeah. And so I often just say, that is an example that's just one example I give of how to do it right.
Yeah.
And I Know What You Did Last Summer was not the way to do it. In my opinion, it was not the way to do it. Yeah. Because I only finished that. I only finished the series to see who the killer was. Yeah. I made myself finish it, and I didn't want to. But I just made myself do it. But as far as Halloween goes, yes, I want to see Haddonfield. If I was the creator, that's the name, and it would be some type of an anthology series, nothing to do with the Strodes, much like Scream TV, just talking about it, Fate, it would be totally separate from Sidney Prescott, and all this, but Michael Myers will be in it. Absolutely, Michael Myers will be in it. And, I mean, I could talk all night about creative ways to do it, but the short answer is yes, I want a series. But I understand Knight's concerns because if they do what, like, I know what you did last summer did to a Halloween series, it would be terrible.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. Also, Dino was saying, I get what you guys are saying. Honestly, I try to be supportive of all you guys. I try to watch all your videos, like and subscribe and comment. If there's any way I can support you guys, especially, I will. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Dino.
that.
And look, and we all know, not everybody's gonna watch every video we have. And what I'm saying, I want 1,000 people that'll watch every video, do all that stuff. It's generally speaking, if you can watch a video, watch it. Even if we've even talked about it, even if it's a video you're not interested in, and you're gonna go take a shower, play the video and just go shower. It doesn't hurt. I mean, make sure the volume's on because YouTube knows, but YouTube knows everything. But
They do.
it's just the point is I would rather have 1,000 people that help me in any way that they can. Subscribe, watch the videos, whatever. I'd rather have that than have 100,000 people that just are they will only watch one video and then they never watch again, or they just watch a video randomly here and there.
Thanks, Dan.
And that's what I mean by that. It's I there's lots of you I know that you try to watch as many videos as us as you can. And not just that, but I understand that you're part of this community with all of us, so there's a lot of content you have to watch, stuff like that. So I don't expect everyone. And even if I'm on the live stream, I mean, many of you have been in my live stream, and I the other day, I was like, hey, I'm gonna wrap up the stream, take a 30-minute break, go over to Cravens. Knights is supposed to be after Cravens. Turns out Knight just betrayed me. But nonetheless, it was a shout out.
You paid me back last night.
I
Paid me back last night.
No.
I was like, well, where's Tyler?
Uh-oh.
I'm joking.
You never sent me the link last night.
Well, I figured you were busy. So. Which is understandable. And that's another thing too. Like you said, people can't watch everyone's videos all the time. People can't always join in to everyone's streams. We got lives, and that's why I think this is an interesting conversation, because it just, again, like you were saying, the behind the curtains aspect of it. It's a lot harder than people may think. You don't know how hard it is until you do it, and I found that out. Obviously when I first started doing it, and I was like, wow, to think about people that have been successful on this platform, no matter what their niche is, I give them ultimate props. Ultimate props.
Absolutely.
Because you literally have to face everything, on your own in a way. I mean, even though the four of us obviously are doing this together, it's still a battle that we're all facing individually as well. It's just great to have each other to lean on, and obviously this community. But yeah, there's
even statistics on it. I think it's some astonishing. It's 90% of creators are that start channels fizzle out within the first year, and then it's something out of those 90%, something only or out of the remaining 10%, only something 3% ever reach monetization. And then the other 7%, they just will keep going. Some of them, those are the ones that skyrocket, or keep grinding, or they just blow up, or they end up reaching the 100,000 milestone or whatever. But yeah, it's just crazy to think. I mean, so literally 9 out of 10 channels that are made won't be around in the next year or 2 or 3. Because it is such a grind. It is so time consuming. And you're putting all this time and effort in, you're getting 3 views on a video. It's
right.
And then a month later you're at 5 views on a video, and it's
right.
And then it's just,
what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? It's just keeping that grind, and I mean, you got to think even a lot of these newer creators and stuff that are in this community, they have the benefit of other people in the community, so they're automatically starting at 50 subs, Where like,
Right.
for us, we had to grind to get to,
Yeah.
I mean, it took, months
Yeah.
to get to 50 subs, and they're like starting their channel at 50 subs. So, I
That's
mean,
right.
it's great
Yeah.
because, I mean, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
The whole point of you want to be a creator, find a creator you admire, find a creator that inspires you and emulate them. Just do it your own way or do it
Yeah.
better.
That's right.
Do
Yeah.
it better, whatever you can do.
Right.
Use the community to grow each other and benefit each other. That's why we grinded to get to this point to be able to put others in a position. That's
Yeah,
why we want
absolutely.
the
Yeah.
community.
It's true,
And
and I've thought about that a lot too, because to have a community around you and having that connection, obviously it strengthens you, but it also, at least the hope, like you said, hopefully strengthens them as well, because hopefully they won't go through all of the same pitfalls you went through, and I've seen that for a long time on my channel, because even in live streams, we have folks that just they're in there having conversation and they're meeting people. I mean, I've met so many people through my own live streams, and when you times that, it's the four of us. I mean, that's a pretty big range that we can hopefully touch. So it's interesting. It really is.
It is, man. But it's work. It is a grind. I mean, like my internal sleep clock is completely shot. My body doesn't know if I should be sleeping or being
Right.
awake now. And I'm not complaining. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not whining. I'm
Right,
just saying, it's as they say, it's the cost of doing business. Because
Yes, I like that.
I mean, it really it is because we talk about consistency. I remember like
Yeah.
whenever my voice went out, when I did two live streams for a total of like almost 14 hours of live streaming,
Hmm.
and back to back, like 8 hours and 7 hours, my voice was completely shot, and it took
Yeah.
and it's just now recovering to the point where it sounds normal again. But during those like a 3 day period, I didn't do any videos because that sounded horrible. My
Yeah.
voice was like, oh. But do you know what was interesting?
Jen.
That's your own fault. Hey,
Jen
I
is
told
on
you I'm
the
not
hunt
complaining.
today.
Jen, calm
Wow.
down, Jen. Relax. I didn't tell you. I didn't say. It was why I told you I wasn't whining. I'm
Jen is
making a
like,
statement.
damn it, you guys.
I'm telling you, man.
what are you whining about, Craven?
So I'm not whining about anything. I was just saying that, how we're talking about how the grind is, and I was just telling how my internal, sleep clock's all messed up because of all the crazy nights I'm carrying on and stuff. So, but anyway, like I say, the point of it is, whenever I was unable to make those videos for like 3 days, like this channel just kind of just like woo slowed down growth wise, not like views and stuff, but. And it just goes back to what we talked about earlier, how if you are not consistently creating content, your channel's not going to grow. It's not like a Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
This thing this doesn't just happen on its own. It takes a lot of work. Now, if you're, and everyone has different goals, and what you want to achieve. But if you want to reach a certain level of success, at least, it's really about consistency, and we talk about that all the time. And consistency, and making videos grows the channel, which is why. And Fate and I were talking Friday on the collective, which is the two of us, how basically, live streams, and I have this philosophy, and I've seen it come true on my channel. I think you guys have too. Videos grow your channel. That grows your subscriber base. Live streams is what grows the relationships of your community. They're two different things. And so what's hurt the collective channel in a way is because 90% of our content approximately is live streams, which is what we want
Right.
to do. But the thing is, you don't grow from live streams. You grow very minimal, very small percentage from a live streams. You'll get a new sub. But because of that, that's why we're not at 1,000 subs already. I guarantee you, if we decided to not do live streams and just make videos together, and we were posting just video content,
Yeah.
the sub counts, I think we would have hit 1,000 within 2 or 3 months
See,
max.
a great example is
Yeah.
we're live streaming and we actually lost a sub instead of gaining a sub.
Oh man. Well, I guess they weren't happy with our topic today. Uh,
I guess so.
but I mean, anyway. So, but it's just things to think about, and I think it'd be really fun sometime to do a show where we dedicate it to content creators, new content creators,
Yeah.
tips, advice, guidance,
Yeah.
ask questions. Not that we're like not we don't have a million subs apiece, but we have
Right.
enough success. We've proven the proof of concept on our channels that we at least know how to grow a channel to a reasonable level, of success, and only going up for all of us, I believe, from here. And I think there's value there, having because I mean, starting the channel I did before with Carbonite, the Movie Bros, I was going in blind, no knowledge. I knew nothing about SEO scores,
Right.
I mean, none of that stuff. And to be able to have that jump start for someone, I think would be a huge thing. So,
Absolutely. But
anyway,
I will say this, man, and I'll never forget when I first saw you guys. I was like, I like these guys. There was some. I think that's another thing too. I mean, for some content creators, you have that, and for some you may not, and some people you
right.
can get it. You can hone it. But I remember the first time I saw you guys, and I was just like, I like these guys.
Aw.
I like the
All
vibe.
right.
No, I'm being serious. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
these guys
yeah.
are all right. But
All right.
you know,
Thank you,
and
Knight.
well, no, I mean, obviously, and it's just interesting to see people, as they begin or as they grow and what have you. It's a very interesting journey, and it can be
Yeah.
so varied from content creator to content creator. But like you said, there are some things collectively that we've seen, and it is almost like a roadmap for new content creators. So
Yeah. I mean, one last thing that I want to add, everyone, you got to remember, success is earned, not given.
Yes.
yeah,
That's
true
right.
enough.
At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
it's true enough.
that's what it
You
comes
gotta
down
put
to.
you gotta put in the work. That's true of anything.
Yeah. I mean,
You gotta put in the work.
I've heard people, not necessarily in my community, but just people even I've known in my, private personal life, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm just going to be a YouTuber. I'm just going to be a YouTuber." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Cool."
Hmm.
But in their mind, though, what they mean by saying that is, I'm going to take my phone. Sorry about my dogs. They're chiming in. They're very passionate about this
They
subject.
love it.
Hey,
And so, but in their mind though is I'm just gonna film myself. I'm gonna go out in the back patio. I'm gonna film a video of me, and it's gonna go viral.
right,
And that's that. And not to say that can't happen.
right.
Anything's possible, but
That's right.
that's probably gonna be like less than 0.5% that ever
Yeah.
happens to.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
that,
If that,
if
yeah,
that.
yeah,
The way you see success is the people that are successful, I believe, that have attained monetization and gone above and beyond are those that are working so hard behind the scenes, and Fate said it. It's earned. It's really earned.
yeah. It
And just
really
know that
is.
going into it. That's the thing.
Well,
Expect that.
YouTube is so hard to grow on.
It is.
I mean, okay, to put it in perspective, there are people on TikTok that have like tens of millions of subscribers or
Right.
followers on TikTok that
Hmm.
have less subscribers than that aren't even monetized on YouTube because it's so hard to grow there. And even if they do get, say 5,000 people to come over out of the 10 million, they're not watching the YouTube videos because they
Yeah.
like the short form content. They like
Right.
the 30-second little clip that you do.
Where they're
And-
doing a
and-
little dance and smiling. And,
Yeah, or
you
you'll
know?
see them like they'll make the TikTok videos and then they struggle making YouTube videos because it's a lot easier to do a 15-second video than it is
That's
to do
right.
a 15-minute video.
That's
You
right.
know, and so it's
Yes.
like so it's just YouTube is another beast.
It
But
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
but that's also why YouTube's made more millionaires than anything.
Right.
Like because it's just like if you can figure it out and you can grind and you can get to that
Mhm.
point and you can really, make it happen, then
Right.
the sky is literally the limit. I mean, the beauty of
Absolutely.
YouTube is that you have passive income, because videos from a year ago are still being watched, stuff like that. You have constant growth. like there's always like tomorrow could be that day if you go through the grind. Tomorrow could be the day that changes your life. You know.
Tomorrow could be the day when Indonesia says, "I'm all about fate. Decided."
That's
Yes,
right. And I'll get
let's
$1.80 in AdSense and 2 new subscribers.
It's crazy, man. All right, real quick
Man.
too. Me, myself, in a movie says, I have a question. Thoughts on Halloween 6? I watched it today for the first time in years and found myself so bored. Halloween 6 has a lot of issues.
Yes.
The producer's cut to me is a better movie, a little bit more cohesive, but I've got a lot of issues with a lot of the things in that movie. So just to throw that out. How about you guys?
Yeah, it's I can understand why you think it's boring.
Yes.
It being boring is maybe be putting it nicely.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there was messes going on behind the scenes. There was
Right?
just it's not a very good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got a lot of problems. The one thing that keeps me coming back to that movie though is it's Donald Pleasant's last
Yeah.
film,
The final one. Yeah.
the final one for him, and you know he's like the glue that keeps sticking that Thorn trilogy. Of course, I like 4. I think 4 is a good movie.
Yeah. Of course
Yeah.
I do.
And I really do. I like it on its own. 5 again. I think 5 is it's not terrible. I mean
Yeah.
the way that movie ends with the man in black
Right.
is so mysterious. I'm like, what is happening? But anyway, my point is, yeah, 6 is not a great movie, I would say, but Donald Pleasant's performance was good, and I love seeing Paul Rudd. Right? Isn't it Paul Rudd?
Yeah.
Paul Rudd. Yeah, I love seeing him in the movie. He was a highlight. So there's things about it that I still get some enjoyment out of. I just can't handle the whole Michael with his niece thing
Right?
for the baby. That whole it's so messed up, and
It is, man. Just thinking about it gets me irritated. I'm like,
Yeah.
how could they go down that road, man?
yeah,
Like, good God.
that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, just real quick, we got a couple of quick questions here too. Carrie was saying, should I live stream? Would that help or no? I personally, Carrie, I think it would help, but again,
Yes.
kind of like what we said, I think having a balance between live and pre-recorded is very important. And it all depends on your schedule as well. But I think you should live stream, and you've got the type of personality that I think would fit it very well. So I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys have anything else you want to throw in.
Yeah, I agree. I just was
Yeah.
going to say, just remember what we said earlier.
Yeah.
Understand that the purpose of a live stream. The purpose of a
Yeah.
live stream is to gain relationships. It's a chance for your subscribers to meet you, for you to
Right.
interact in real time, and for them to start to like not just your content, but to like you. And that's the key to live streams. And you may get some subs from it, but that's not the real. Don't let that be your goal. If your goal is, if I live stream, I'm going to get 10 subs on this live
Yeah.
stream, you'll be
Right.
disappointed. That's
You
not
will.
rarely going to happen, because what that does is it makes your subscribers more sticky to your content, because once they start really caring about you and they can connect to you as an individual, that is when, like for me, when I connected to Night, when the minute I watched the Night Watch Zone, I love Kill and I love Coriander. They're great. But there was something about Night specifically that just drew me to him on his live streams. And I
The
said, man,
arms.
well, and maybe it was the arms subconsciously, the guns, but it drew me. And Fate the same way, and Killjoy Jake, everyone that I really enjoy, I enjoy them.
Yeah.
I want to hear, because I like them.
Yeah.
And even when Fate and I battle our stew talk and we have fun, I still love Fate, and I know we respect one another, we care about each other, because we have a good relationship, and that's what this is about.
About
So-
building those relationships. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Carrie, yes, live stream, because and still do videos, but that's
Yeah.
where you're going to build
Here,
your.
look.
Yeah.
For everybody that wants to do a live stream channel, this is how you do it for both. You go live, you do your live stream things, and then you find 2 or 3 moments out of that live stream, you edit it, you turn it into videos, and you upload. There's your live stream channel. There are countless live
Yeah.
stream channels that have major success following that very model. Because then you get because also you got to keep in mind, not everyone wants to sit through a 3 hour, 2 hour, even 45 minute stream. So
Right.
what you do is you do your live stream that builds, relationships, stuff like that. You find, 2 or 3 points throughout that you think, and they don't have to, I mean, it could be a 2 minute video, it could be a 20 minute video. You find 2 or 3, moments that you think are very attractive that you could make a nice title for, create a good thumbnail. You edit those, put that together, and you release that as an independent video, not a live stream. So, and that promotes your live streams and it promotes, your channel in general. That's the model. If you want to do a live stream, that's how you do it. If you want to do it just pretty much a live stream channel, that's how you do it. So there you go.
And there's no sub count as far as when you can go live stream me and
50.
myself in a movie.
If
You have to have 50.
You have to have.
It is 50.
Yes.
I thought if you do it on a PC, you don't have to.
No,
You
it's
don't have
50.
anything.
Carbonite Jedi just went through this. That's why I know it's 50.
Oh, really? Okay.
'Cause
Because
he's
I
trying
know if you try to do it on your phone, it's like you have to have like a couple hundred or 1,000 subs. But
Oh wow.
What is he using to
50.
stream? Is he using what we're using?
He's
right now?
using StreamYard now. Yeah, he did his very first stream this past Friday, a couple days back, and that was his very first one. Yeah, he's using StreamYard, but he tried to apply for streaming, and they said your requirement is 50 subs.
Yeah.
And so once he got the 50 subs last week, he applied, and it went through. And so
Nice.
yeah, I get to 50.
They must have changed that then, because it used to be as long as if you used a computer and you used streaming software, you could go live whenever you wanted.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of YouTubers just have always streamed, because it's easier than actually making videos. I mean, it's hard to stream. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but as far as like editing, all that stuff, like it's a lot easier to stream. Like even like what I was talking about, where you just follow the formula of like you go live, you edit 3 or 4 videos, there you go. Like even that's easier, because now you don't have to come up. You creating the content in real time, and then you're just editing it to make videos. It's a lot easier of a formula than coming up with an idea every day and trying to put it out there. That's interesting. I guess 50 is the
As
the
of
goal.
now, it looks like 50 is the number.
Yeah. Real quick too. Crystal was saying, what are your speculations as to why David Gordon Green is calling Ends to Christine? Will Ends be a transformation movie? Allison becoming Strode 2.0? Yeah, he asked John Carpenter. He said, let me know if this is to Christine. I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago. I don't think it's going to be, something, like I don't necessarily think they're going to have, Christine in the movie per se, but I think it's going to be more of a spiritual type of connection with Allison, not necessarily becoming Strode 2.0, but I think just, because Christine is about that journey of a character arc, and I think it's going to show a lot of Allison's character arc in this movie, which is totally different than what she was in Halloween 2018. So I think that's kind of what is meant. I mean, I guess you could also look at it like, Michael, she's obsessed with Michael, just like, Christine was obsessed over too. So maybe that's a little bit of it as well. But I think that's what it's going to be more about.
No, what it's really going to be about, Night, is Allison slowly being absorbed into the evil of Myers. And when Michael is allegedly killed, the material evil, which you can't kill because it's not physical, it's spiritual, that will then go into Allison, like Christine possessed the I can't remember his name from the movie, the main guy from Christine, as the car basically took over him. And so now Allison will be now the one carrying the instrument, if you will, of the evil that possessed Michael. And that's how the movie ends, with her putting the mask on.
Ooh.
And then you have fake Donald Pleasance going,
was ready to kill a kid. That's the extent of his commitment.
Bro. All right.
Me, myself, movies out of 50 subs, many of them may not watch live. I suppose you need a few hundred to get a good live stream going. It depends. I mean, it really depends on, what you've done with your channel and how you've connected with the people, with the content that you have once you have 50 subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like if you're live streaming, you got to remember, out of however many subs you have, you're only going to get so many people that are going to be in a live stream.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like I have 7,000 subs, and I have anywhere from 25 to 70, depending on
Right.
how many, depending on what time it is, what day it is, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course the conversation and stuff. I've had a live stream where I had continue like at one time I had like 330 people in the live stream, and it was like my 5th live stream I ever did. I've never replicated that, but but again, that was the timing. Like it was like right when they dropped the trailer for Scream. And so like that was like what I was talking about. So, and it was like right when my channel was starting to take off and everything. Like I think that month I got like 1,000 subs.
Yeah.
So it was just like perfect time, and I had that. Ever since then, yeah, it's usually anywhere from 25 to on a good stream I'll get like maybe 70 people, something like that, at one time. But you also have people coming in and out like constantly.
Yeah.
You have people watching. So like after you're done streaming, YouTube shows you like your analytics and stuff, and it'll show you like how many people were actually in the stream at one time. If somebody gave a super chat, how much the super chat was, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, very likely, you're going to have a very small percentage of your subscriber base being in your live streams, but it's just like anything else. Just like a live stream, it's going to be a video, and you need to have. And if you're going to start streaming, like it's easy for us to stream because we have so many of you that can keep we can bounce off of to keep the conversation going. Like like when I do like my streams, I go through the chat and I answer your questions and talk about stuff. But like when I first start the stream, sometimes I only have like 8 people because everyone's starting to trickle in, and so like I'll start with the conversation, people will trickle in, takes 2 or 3 minutes, and all of a sudden then we got like 25 people in, and okay, now I'll go to the chat and I'll let them. So you gotta, especially when you're starting out, you gotta have like topics and thoughts on how you're going to carry it, because the first couple times you stream, and it could be months. I mean, you could be going months streaming and only have a handful of people in your stream. So you need to be able to carry that conversation.
Right.
And YouTube only allows you to like leave a comment every like 30 seconds or whatever it is. So like even if you do have 5 people that want to keep engaging with you, it takes them a minute before the comment will post, because YouTube does that for spam and stuff. But so it's stuff to keep in mind. So have an agenda when you go and do the stream, because you're not going to have the chat to feed off of. You're not going to have the questions to merge off of. And collab with each other in the community. You know what I mean? Like, just like how we jump on each other's channels and streams and stuff like that. Like, do the same thing. Oh, hey, Carrie, I have a channel. You want to come on? I'll go on your channel next week, whatever. And start building together.
Well, I mean,
I agree.
Great example of that, and then I'm gonna have to split, guys. Is Bob Hunt and Marcus over at I Shot Him 6 Times. They do a lot of collaborating on Marcus's channel, and it's really good stuff. And it's bringing awareness to both of their channels, and it's also having someone with having them both bouncing off each other. No matter what's happening in the chat, their conversation's constantly flowing, because they always have each other to talk to, and they're doing so well. Bob is doing such a great job. I mean, I remember seeing his very first live streams on his channel when he was just testing it out, and where he's come to now. Bob, you've done an amazing job, man. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. You are showing such confidence and growth, and dude, keep it up, man. You're doing great. Just keep climbing out of that shell, because you're really starting to shine. And the more you are free and confident, the more amazing your conversation is, and more engaging you've become. So, Bob, I'm really, I hate not to sound like a father figure, but I'm proud of you, man. I'm very proud of you. I really mean that. And same for Marcus. I showed him 6 times. They're both doing such a good job. The other night I was editing that video. I knew I was going to need at least 2 hours to get it done, and they happened to be live streaming, and it was like really late, and so I pulled up the stream, and I always try to say hi, and I just let it play while I was editing my stuff, and for 2 hours they were entertaining me just listening to their conversation, and
Right.
it was great. So it's a great tactic Fate suggested, and I think if you follow that model, it really does help, especially as you're new to doing it, till you get comfortable. Bring
Hmm.
someone with you, and it helps both of your channels.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
we got a lot of
Yep.
content creators in our community. We got Maverick Media, we've
Yep.
got Carrie, Bob,
Carrie.
Ghostface
Yep.
Fanatic, we've got Bob. I mean, I was already talked about. There's several. Hawkins House of Horror, me
Hmm.
myself in a movie who's here right now.
Zoe.
These are Zoe.
So, yeah.
There's so many. I mean, I'm leaving people out accidentally, but my point is there's a lot of people that we all communicate with that you guys can team up. So you should do it. Go for it.
Agreed. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get ready to end out here. I know, Stephen, you got to get ready to go and so
Yeah,
forth. But for you guys in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us as always. We enjoy that, and hopefully you enjoyed our conversation, which was, as always, it's unscripted, man. We just kind of
Yeah.
went with it. We just flow, and I really enjoyed it because I think sometimes talking about those types of things is not only good for us, as a brotherhood, but also for you guys. And some of you guys have been thanking us for any type of tips or this conversation and so forth. And it's good. Helping out folks is good, and having support is good. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, we will catch you guys next time on Friday. But of course, all of us are doing individual stuff. I'll be on at 8
Yeah.
Slasher Movie Club. You know, talking about a movie that is very interesting.
What's the title?
The Clown at Midnight.
The
There you
Clown.
go, Dan. Dan knows what's up. Dan, you all right.
You all right? The
All right.
Clown. at
Thanks so
Midnight.
much, Dan. I really appreciate that. Dan is always, and Dan's got a great channel too. All of you guys. I mean, there's so many content creators in this stream, like Steven was saying. But thank you so much, Dan, because you're always so supportive of everyone in the community, and it's awesome, man. It really is.
Hey, and real quick, night also, just in case anyone doesn't know, tonight at 9:30 Central, I will be streaming my last live stream for the month of May. So I would love for you guys to come join. Let's close out this month on a Memorial Day night live stream. Hope to see you guys there.
Woo-hoo. All right. And if it's anything like the other night, then yeah, it'll be pretty crazy. I'm just saying.
You just never know, man.
You don't. You never ever.
Just bring your cinnamon. Have your cinnamon ready. You just never know.
All right. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you later. Hit the like if you haven't already. And the collective has spoken. Peace out.
Bye, guys.